thanks for staying with us. Today is the International Women's Day, and this is a day to commemorate the achievements and challenges facing women worldwide. Kenya, too, has not been left behind in the celebrations. And in our studio today, we have Grace Uwizeye to discuss this day on the milestones and challenges facing women in Kenya. Grace is in charge of FGM and harmful practices at Equality Now. Thank you very much for coming in. Happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day.
So exciting. So the theme is Planet 50-50 for 2030. Do you think we are on course to get to that?
Well, so far we have made gains in making sure that we are at 50-50 by 2030 in terms of having laws in place that protect women from violence that impedes them from achieving their, having their fruitful life. So far we have these laws, we have the constitution that offers the two-thirds gender role, but however, the challenges has been in implementing these laws. Yes, so that's where we have the main challenge right now.
You talk about the two-thirds gender rule, and every time people think about equality, especially in leadership, we go back to that rule that has been shot down not once but about 3 times in both houses of the National Assembly. How bad has this affected women, especially when it comes to leadership in this country?
As the UN Secretary General says, Guterres, he says that in order to have development, whether in political, social, and economic development, we need to have women in decision-making positions. So without women, many women will not be able to access justice, to access any other basic rights they need.
There has been an aggressive fight on some of the harmful practices that I think is your day-to-day work. Harmful practices, FGM, especially in the grassroots levels. The fight has been aggressive, but we'll still get instances where young children or young girls are forced to get married, they're forced to get circumcised and whatnot. You have been working with this, especially down at the grassroots levels. How bad is it? Are we making an improvement in terms of how many young girls are taken away from this and just go to school?
Yes, we have made great improvements in Kenya in terms of making sure that girls are protected from FGM and child marriage. So if you look at the statistics, Kenya is going, the prevalence of FGM is going down by 5% from 2008 up to 2015. So the practice have been going down. But however, again, the challenge has always been in terms of implementing the laws, where we need different services, to different institutions to work together to make sure that the girls are protected from undergoing FGM, because that's what we need. We need girls to be protected from FGM and also child marriage, to be subjected to child marriage. So that's where we need all different actors. You're talking about teachers, we're talking about medical practitioners, police, the prosecutors, to all come in and work together and make sure that the girls are protected.
So what are we saying? There's not much commitment to fight this, especially in areas where traditions take precedence?
You find that in most of these practicing communities, even the leaders who come from those communities still believe in these practices. So they don't want also to talk against these traditions which they believe in, because either they are thinking that they are going to lose their vote coming, especially with the upcoming elections. So you find that the leaders from those communities are really not talking about these issues and telling their communities to abandon the practice.
According to you, just from your opinion, what are some of the modern day challenges that women go through that serve as an impediment from them to achieve what they ought to?
For example, as I was saying, look at FGM or child marriage, for example, in the communities such as the Maasai, whereby when a girl is cut, she's immediately married off. Therefore, all her future just is basically ended. So she drops out of school, she's married, and that's it. So those are some of the challenges, the modern day challenges that women face and young girls face in this day and age.
With the new constitution came more positions for women. In 2013, we voted for women representative across all the 47 counties, and this was seen as an affirmative action. But would you look at this as a milestone? What more do we need to do to get more women into leadership in this country?
Yes, what we need is actually to implement that two-thirds rule. Let's have it passed in Parliament, and let's have all the political parties make sure that they implement it within their own parties, making sure that we have women who are standing up for political position, so that we can have two-thirds gender role within our parliament.
When you talk about parties, we are heading into nominations in the next few weeks for both Jubilee and the opposition, of course. How would you describe how parties embrace women leadership? Because you can't vote for a woman who didn't pass the nomination test.
This is why we need the two-thirds gender rule, to make sure that the political parties actually included in their process in terms of nominations, to make sure that women are allocated seats, are allocated nominations within their political parties. Yes.
All right, and we say, as we wait for the two-thirds gender rule, it has not been implemented. It has not even passed the National Assembly. Do you think political parties are really committed to having more women in leadership, even without the two-thirds gender rule?
Well, with the upcoming elections in August, and we have seen so far what's been happening within the political parties, we can easily say that they're not committed in terms of making sure that the women are represented within their parties. They're not committed in terms of making sure that women have the seats or the nominations within their parties.
Among the reasons we got from men in leadership as to why this bill is not passing, most people are looking at it as women just want this thing on a silver platter. Why not fight it out like men do? Is this a misunderstanding or a misconception regarding this rule, or we are not just sensitized enough about what this would mean for our country if it happens?
Okay, if I can bring you back to the interview you just aired about the lady who is running for the MP for the Gatundu North. She mentioned some of the challenges she's facing right now, because she realized that the parties are not going to go out there and give them nominations, so she has to go in the community and campaign for the vote. So some of the challenges she highlighted is financial restraints in terms of making sure that she's out there really campaigning, and also the society we live in, whereby we believe that only men can rule. You know, they don't see women as leaders. They only see, so you need to go out in the community again and have to tell the communities to go ahead and vote for a woman. So this is the reason why we need the two-thirds gender rule, because once the women are elected in parliament, then the community, the society will see that women can also rule. Then they will change their attitude, their conception towards the women as in leadership.
So what is Equality Now doing to ensure that by 2030 we achieve this in their own small way?
So what Equality Now is doing is, again, coming back to the government of Kenya and asking them to implement the laws that have been put in place, to make sure that that two-thirds gender role that has been put in the Constitution is actually passed and implemented, so that by 2030 we have the 50-50 gender parity in leadership.
Great. We will definitely be seeing how that goes. Thank you very much, Grace, for coming. And Grace Uwizeye from Equality Now, she's in charge of FGM and harmful practices, in a conversation here as we celebrate the International Women's Day. Thank you once again for making time for us. But away from that, Kenya's first education